wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy, Breakfast Club family.
Peace, Tez.
Now, if you just missed it, we just told you guys the Chiefs beat the Ravens 17-10, and the 49ers beat the Lions 34-31. So in 2 weeks, the 49ers will be taking on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Ravens going to wake up this morning and ask themselves what happened. Like, you hold the Chiefs scoreless in the second half, and you can't come out with a victory, like nothing goes your way, like fumbling in the end zone. Like, I mean, literally nothing goes your way. Can't get your run game going. Nothing. Yeah, that one's going to hurt this morning.
All
Detroit, right. Yes, y'all did blow a lead in the second half, but I think y'all can, live with that loss. This is the farthest Detroit has ever made it, I believe. Right?
They're still going to be pissed off, but yes.
They were. The ones I saw,
they were there.
The people I follow from Detroit, they were taking it on the chin. The Jalen Roses and the Ty Mopkins, they were just happy that, they guys that made it this far.
Especially since the basketball team is Basuda. But all right, let's jump right into it. Let's talk Donald Trump.
Yeah, the jury came back with a verdict and decided that former President Donald Trump must pay $83.3 million in damages for his statements made denying that he sexually assaulted the writer E. Jean Carroll. Let's take a listen.
E. Jean Carroll was all smiles as she left the courthouse following the jury's unanimous verdict, ordering former President Donald Trump to pay her more than $83 million for defamatory statements he made about her in 2019. The dollar amount including $7.3 million for emotional harm, $11 million to help repair her reputation, and $65 million in punitive damages. Carroll's attorney had previously told the jury, quote, "The one thing Donald Trump cares about is money." They deliberated for fewer than 3 hours. Trump wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict, but immediately took to social media to call the ruling, quote, "absolutely ridiculous," saying he fully disagrees.
Isn't that what got him back in the court the second time?
Right. That's exactly what got him back in the court the second time. This probably got to be the most expensive social media rant that costs anybody. So, yeah, you're right, Charlamagne. So we're going to see if he's going to continue to talk. And if so, I'm sure she has no problem.
But he'll appeal this, though, right? He'll appeal this and then
of course.
Go through the process again, right? Yeah.
Of course. Still got to go through the process.
Let me ask you a question, though. Why the defamation to say I didn't do it? Why the defamation to say, I think this is ridiculous? Why the defamation to say I don't know who this person is?
I think he went a little further than that. He's saying that now. I think he went a lot further than that the second time.
Yeah, calling her unhinged, assaulting a character after he was already found guilty. And the judge told him to shut up. It's always free to shut up. It's just a really easy thing to shut up. So when you go back and you already were in trouble for it the first time, you go back, you get found guilty, you run out to social media again with the same thing, talking about this woman.
But what were the exact statements, though? Like, what were the exact statements that he said that they said was defamatory?
Well, there's so many. I can pull it up and we can go through, but there's so many. Calling her unhinged, saying he never met the woman, saying that this was obviously, a witch hunt. I mean, he's just talking about it. Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently $83 million worth of defamation.
Okay, I guess.
But you don't see it?
Defamation? I mean, that's not.
No, I think he went a little further. It just wasn't just I didn't do it, I didn't say it. This is not true. I think he went further and started slamming her name again.
Well, I'd like to know what the statements were.
Yeah, we can pull them up, but it just wasn't I didn't do it. It was a lot further. He was directly, shooting at that woman.
Oh, okay.
Over and over repeatedly. Now, on the campaign side, the Wall Street Journal wrote that if Nikki Haley were to stay in the race through July, if he's convicted of a felony, 42% of voters in New Hampshire and a third of Iowa caucus goers said Trump would be unfit for president if convicted. Here's her response to that question on NBC Meet the Press. Take a listen.
Are you staying in this race in case Donald Trump is convicted of a crime, Ambassador?
I've never stayed in this race because of court cases. Really, I don't know what all the court cases are. I haven't paid attention to what he's won, what he's lost, what he's fighting for, any of that. What I know is, the first one came down and he spent a lot of time ranting about how he lost that court case. But the reality is every time he's talking about defending himself in court, he's not talking about getting our economy back on track. He's not talking about closing the border. He's not talking about how we're going to get our kids reading again and getting us focused again. He's not talking about law and order. That's the problem, is he's not talking about what the American people want.
She's right about that. I mean, I haven't heard no policy or no legislation put on the table at all. Everything is about how I'm going to seek, revenge on my political opponents, and everything is about how, this is a witch hunt against me, and y'all should support me because if they take me out, then they can take y'all out. I ain't seen them talk about no policy yet. Mm-hmm. And Nikki will be in it as long as she got money. So, I mean, and it's obvious that there's a large group of Republicans who want something different. So as long as she got money, she'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the way, she raised over $1 million after the New Hampshire speech. So people are definitely, her campaign has received a boost.
All right. Well, that is front page news. And just some of the stuff that we were talking about, what Trump said. They said before the second trial got underway, the judge ruled that Carol was telling the truth about the assault and that Trump's statements denying her claims were defamatory. So I guess him denying that he didn't meet her, like what Tez said, that he didn't meet her, that he called her a whack job. Though? Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Saying you didn't do something is defamation?
After you got charged with doing it and they said you did it? Yeah. That's what they're saying.
$83 million worth.
That's
Lord
right.
have mercy.
And it's so interesting because coming up next, we're going to talk about Councilman Yusef Salaam, who also some folks went on Twitter and talked about what he did, what he was exonerated from. So maybe he can follow Trump's lead and do a defamation lawsuit. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because it's clear that he didn't do it, right? Like he got found
innocent,
guilty in a court of law.
That's right. And they went to Twitter saying, "Oh no, he did it." So hey, follow Trump's lead and Get the drawing up those lawsuit papers.
That's right. All right. Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tez?
What's going on, DJ NV? Good morning, Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Ted.
Let's jump right back into it. Let's start with the sports. If you missed it, the Chiefs beat the Ravens 17-10. The 49ers beat the Lions 34-31. In 2 weeks, the Super Bowl will be the 49ers and Chiefs.
Now, all we wanted was the Ravens and Lions to make it to the Super Bowl, or even the Ravens and 49ers. We wanted anybody except for the Kansas City Swifties because now we got to deal with 2 weeks of Taylor Swift mania, and I don't want anything overshadowing from Usher's halftime performance.
Well, she's part of the team now, they say.
And, the NFL is like, well, listen, Rock Nation, y'all don't want Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? We'll find a way to get her there, okay?
We'll get it in. Next week is the Pro Bowl. I don't think anybody watches the Pro Bowl. I don't know why people just don't get excited about the Pro Bowl. But anyway, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Yusef Salaam.
Yes, as NYC Mayor Eric Adams continues to encourage council members to support his veto of the How Many Stops Act, City Council member Yusef Salaam said he was pulled over by the police without an explanation. Take a listen.
Newly elected City Councilman Yusef Salaam, who was wrongfully convicted and imprisoned as part of the Central Park 5 case, says he was stopped by police without an explanation. It comes days before the council is scheduled to meet to override Mayor Adams' veto of the How Many Stops Act. That act would require documentation of every stop conducted by police. The NYPD says last night's stop was proper because Salaam's car windows were tinted beyond the legal limit.
Now, before we discuss, I want you to hear the body cam footage. It was released. Now, although you did not hear him ask, why am I being stopped? You can hear him ask the officer, is everything okay? So I guess that's up to interpretation. Is that him asking, why am I being stopped? Or just asking, is everything okay? You can hear the officer respond, yep, yeah, you're working right. And then he said, take care, sir. And he returned to his vehicle. So listen to the body cam. And I want to know you guys, your interpretation of it. Take a listen.
Can you roll your back window, please? I'm Officer Kentucky from the 2-6 precinct.
I'm Councilmember Salaam.
Council member?
This district 9.
Oh, okay. Have a good one. Yeah. You're working, right? All right. Take care, sir.
Oh, NYPD has zero respect for the mayor's detail, huh? I mean, once they pulled him over and realized he was a councilman, they let him go, right?
But that's what I'm confused. What the problem was with this, right? He had tinted windows. You're not allowed to have tinted windows in New York. Councilman said he was on work duty.
He was on work. Cop let him go. Yeah.
Well, the problem is he, because they're talking about this this pullover thing, this act thing, but the New York City Benevolent Association president said that facts matter. The video just exposed the lies about this incident. It shows the truth about the outstanding professional work of our members do every day. But Yusef is using this as an opportunity to be able to talk about, the act that they're trying to move forward, which is the How Many Stops Act. Let me explain what that is. It is a measure intended to increase police transparency by requiring NYPD officers to document any encounter they have for investigative purposes. It includes race, gender, and age of the people they interact with. Now, the city council passed this bill in December, but Mayor Adams vetoed the bill, saying that it was drowning officers in unnecessary paperwork and that they should be out on the street keeping folks safe. So bottom line, the debate is he's saying, see how I was pulled over and I wasn't given an explanation. That should be documented. This is why we need to move forward on the How Many Stops Act. And then the other side, which is Mayor Adams, is saying, no, that it's going to cause people to have unnecessary paperwork. We don't need to document how many people are pulled over. So his argument is he was never told it was for tinted windows.
Oh, they never. Okay. Well,
yeah.
He probably didn't get a chance to because once he told me he was a councilman, it didn't matter.
Yeah, he didn't even take his license and registration.
Yeah,
once he was a councilman, he let it go.
Yeah, as soon as he said, I'm councilman such and such, the officer was like, oh, councilman? Oh, he said, okay, bye. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he didn't even get a chance to do that.
Which to me, one might say that that's problematic. If we want to be fair about it, if you just get to say, "Oh, I'm a councilman," you get to go. If it had been a regular citizen, would they have had to show their license and registration?
But that would have been way worse, though, Taz. If he said he was a councilman and then the officer was like, "Prove you a councilman," then it would have turned into
not prove you a councilman. Just treat him like a regular person. Get a ticket for the windows. That's a fair argument that people are saying as well. You just get a pass because you're an elected official.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
91 charges worth of a pass.
Right. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah.
But I'm just throwing it out there on the table. I really want people to come on Instagram, follow me at Tesla Figaro. I want to hear people's response. Should you just get a pass, because you're an elected official? I mean, is that fair?
You shouldn't, but we know it happens. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, of course we do.
And also too, man, like Mayor Adams said about the police officers, man, they don't want to do all this extra paperwork for no reason. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's just a councilman. I pulled him over, you had tinted windows. Hey, have a nice day, sir.
But what about the extra paperwork when you're getting pulled, the stop and frisk and you're getting pulled over and over and over due to race?
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Well, that's what this act is all about. They're saying they want to be able to document how many people are, pulled over, wrongfully profiled. They want that paperwork to be able to show how many people are pulled over and what is their race and what is their gender. That's what the debate is all about.
I mean, but if somebody has tinted windows, it shouldn't matter if you're green, black, white, or whatever. You did something against the law, they're gonna pull you over and ask you what it is. But the only problem I do have is I'm watching leniency go out the window, meaning if everything has to be documented. I'm sure everybody out there has got pulled over before and the officers let them go. I'm sure that's happened one time.
Sure.
But now what they're doing is they're making sure if you get pulled over, you're going to get a ticket regardless because everything is on the camera.
True.
There's so many times where I know I got pulled over or somebody I know got pulled over and you were real with the officer, whatever it was, I'm running late or I didn't see the stop sign. Officer said, look, if your license is clean, I ain't going to give you a ticket. We've all heard that. But now it's going to get to a point where you're going to get that ticket regardless.
Now, I wonder about that.
It's not about giving the ticket. It's about saying, this goes into the argument on profiling people. It's not just about tinted windows. It's not just, let's just document people with tinted windows. The argument on the How Many Steps Act is about how many people are getting pulled over for whatever reason it is. And what do those people look like? And what are those, what is the gender? What is the race? That's the whole thing.
I'm with you, Taz, but this ain't the case to do that on because if you got tinted windows, I can't profile
I can't see who's inside 9 times out of 10.
Right. But it's the larger argument. It's not just about this one. And I'm just giving you, all the different talking points. Yeah. It's not about just this one thing. It's about he's using this as an example, and I don't think it's the best example.
No, exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
It's
not the best example for that.
Yeah, because
it's not the best example.
He told him to pull the tents down so he could see who was in it. Because he couldn't see who was in it, so he told him to pull the tents down.
Right. So this is not the best example for this, but I do want people to look into, particularly New York, look at this act and see if it's something you agree with, the How Many Stops Act, because there's also people that say they get pulled over all the time for no reason at all. And if that was documented, that might be reduced. So it's just a question to put out there to the family is do you support this How Many Stops Act?
Okay. All right. Well,
no, man, talk about how Yusef need to sue too. What's that next part? Talk about that part.
Yeah, let's talk.
Not sue the police, but
not about this. Another part.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another part. So, we were talking about earlier in the first hour about defamation, what that really looks like. So Charlie Kirk went on Twitter and said this: New York City Councilman Yusef Salaam, who once took part in a gruesome gang rape of a jogger in Central Park, is now furious that an NYPD officer dared to pull him over for having illegally tinted windows. Salaam wasn't even arrested or given a ticket, but after getting away with gang rape, he apparently thinks he deserves to be completely above the law. What a disgusting pig. So the question is, should Charlie Kirk be sued?
Yes. Yeah, Charlie didn't read the rest of the Central Park 5 story clearly. Yes, that is absolutely defamation. Yep. You calling me a rapist when I was found innocent in a court of law, DNA exonerated the Central Park 5. That is absolutely a defamation lawsuit if Yusef Salaam chooses to pursue that.
So what you're saying is if E. Jean Carroll can get $83 million for Trump because he said she was a whack job, Yusef should absolutely
get 150
million.
Yes, but this is clear-cut defamation because he literally said that Yusef, got away with gang rape. No, he was found innocent in a court of law.
That's
DNA
right.
exonerated him. That is not he said, she said. That is absolutely what happened in a court of law. That's a textbook defamation lawsuit.
Absolutely. He should get 150 million. Well, thank you, Tez.
Absolutely.
And make sure you follow at Teslin Figueroa on all social media platforms and subscribe to Teslin Figueroa's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.